This is DRF Race of the Day. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, Saturday's Race of the Day, an epic matchup between two of the best horses in the world. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 1 Apple Blossom Handicap at Oaklawn Park. The incomparable Monomoy Girl, two-time Breeders' Cup Distaff winner. She hasn't finished behind another horse since 2017, takes on the imposing presence of Swiss Skydiver, last year's Preakness winner. Of course, the Preakness, the second jewel of racing's Triple Crown. You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. Mike, these are the kind of races that we got into this business for.
And it feels like the kind of race that you don't see that much anymore, Dan. The two leaders of the division meeting relatively early on here. So it's just great to see them squaring off in a race like this. And it's also really nice, I think anyway, to just realize that there are a couple other horses in here. I think two other horses in here who are not, necessarily in over their heads, Dan. It just makes the race that much more interesting.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector, the strong supporting cast led by the potential pace setter. The number 3 Latruska is a multiple graded stakes winner in her own right. And as you see by this pace projector, this race might favor horses on or near the early lead. Latruska is going to the front.
She will. She should go to the front this time. And she's fast enough, Dan. She's the kind of horse who can go fast early and stay on, which makes her that much more dangerous. I'll take a little bit of exception, perhaps, with this pace projector. Not that I don't think the Latruska will be on the lead, but the two favorites, they're not slow horses, Dan, and I'd be surprised if they let her get away and walk.
I assume they'll be eyeballing each other, Swiss Skydiver and Monomoy Girl in second and third, in relatively close attendance to Latruska. Now, a horse that we know will be coming from the back of the pack, one of the longer shots in the race, the number 1, Another Broad, a stakes winner who is no match for Monomoy Girl last time out over the sloppy going that she prefers. Just think about it. She's 0 for 17 on fast ground, 4 for 7 on wet. She couldn't get close to Monomoy Girl last time out. She's in real tough here.
Yeah, she's not. She's just not this kind of a horse. And she probably wants longer distances as well.
What a season Swiss Skydiver had last year as a 3-year-old filly. Not only did she win the Preakness, she won the prestigious Grade 1 Alabama at Saratoga, and she proved her mettle at Oaklawn by winning the Fantasy leading up to a run in the Kentucky Oaks, a race in which she would finish second. Let's watch Swiss Skydiver's seasonal debut out in Southern California, the Beholder Mile. Weaker competition. She got a very nice pocket trip. She eases to the outside. She wins comfortably. It's just the kind of prep you want to see, and it got a fig.
Yeah, this is just about perfect for a horse returning from a layoff. Dan just won this race as easily as she could possibly have won it. Yeah, she said a good trip, but she was always well within herself, won the race very handily, triple-digit buyer speed figure. She's clearly the most dangerous horse that Monomoy Girl has to face in this race. And it's not going to, I personally don't think it would be a surprise if she beat her, Dan. I'm interested to see how the race gets bet.
Latruska, the number 3, rated a little bit in the Azeri last time out. Let's watch that performance at Oaklawn. The Azeri, of course, the local prep for the Apple Blossom. She's on the outside, and She Dares the Devil, the winner of this race, is a very, very good filly. It was somewhat surprising to see Latruska coming from off of the pace, but she tried hard in here and just missed by a head. She always seems to show up.
Yeah, she does. I thought she ran well in here, and I also felt like that Joel Rosario gave her a pretty good trip after the start. And to me, the difference in that race was just that She Dares the Devil, who, as you mentioned, is a good horse anyway. She just caught a flyer at the start and got to the lead. And, once she beat Latruska to the front, Rosario just elected to take a little bit of a tracking trip in there. I thought all in all, it was probably the right thing to do. And this horse ran really well. She just couldn't get up.
Stakes winner Chance to Shine as the number 4, the longest shot on the morning line, only beaten 4 lengths by Monomoy Girl in the Grade 3 Bayakoa, but no match for the champion on that day. She is in good form. She would need a career best and perhaps some other things to happen in order for her to pull off an upset.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel like this is a field that she can beat. They'll take a shot in here and maybe try to get a piece.
The progressive 5-year-old mare, the number 5, Get Rid of What Ails You, won the Pippin Stakes at Oaklawn. Her first start off of a long layoff, and then she ran third in the race we just saw, the Azeri. That was a race in which she fell far, far behind. She dropped inside in the stretch, and I thought that she was running on at the end of this race. The pace scenario is quite concerning, but Mike, if you think the 2 and the 6 put a little bit of heat on Latruska, it could set up well for Get Rid of What Ails You.
I agree, Dan. I don't think this pace is going to be run the way the pace projector suggested it could be, and I feel like that helps get rid of what ails you. I don't know if she's good enough, but I do know that it feels like she keeps getting better from race to race, and I personally thought she ran well in the Azeri. Just because, again, it was a race where the winner caught a flyer and was allowed to control the early pace. And, you could see the pace of that race really picking up the second half of it. And that's when this horse was making all of her ground. I thought she ran a deceptively good race last time.
And now a future first ballot Hall of Famer, the 6 Monomoy Girl, 14 of 16 in her career. Her only 2 defeats. The race I mentioned in 2017 as a 2-year-old, she lost by a neck. The other one, a race in which she won and was disqualified. Here's her seasonal debut, the Bayakoa at Oaklawn Park over a sloppy track. Florent Giroux did the exact thing you're supposed to do with a champion over a wet track. You get her in the clear, you get her sitting off the pace, and she blows right on by.
Yeah, just too good for this field, Dan. I don't think this is, Monomoy Girl's most impressive win, but, it's sort of a similar situation to her return from the long layoff last year, where she caught a wet track against overmatched horses and just really didn't do everything that she had to do to win. It's also worth noting that when you watch the head-on of that race last time, she's a good 5 or 6 wide all the way around the track, keeping up with the pace. So I just feel like she ran really well again. She is way the horse to beat. Will Swiss Skydiver beat her this time? She couldn't do it in the Breeders' Cup with a little bit of an excuse. I think it's going to be closer this time.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 1 $1 million Apple Blossom Handicap. Mike's going Monomoy Girl. I think Swiss Skydiver has the potential to upset her in here. It should be a tremendous showdown. And you're right. It'll be very interesting to see how they bet this race. Monomoy Girl was even money in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Swiss Skydiver was 2-1. That's how they have him on the morning line. Do you think it'll be a little closer at post time, considering Swiss Skydiver's recent triple-digit buyer victory?
Yeah, I think it could very well be closer come post time. That'll be the interesting part. And that's really the reason I put Monomoy Girl on top and why I put Swiss Skydiver third, Dan. I would just try to split them because I think it could be close in price. And if I'm going to try to beat the champ, I'm not going to do it where it's, with a horse who's very close in price to her. I'd rather try to do it maybe with a horse like Get Rid of What Ails You. But I'm not going to try to beat her in here. I think this is the right spot for her to maybe handle Swiss Skydiver once again.
I'll try to split him with Latruska, who might have a slight pace advantage and just always seems to show up. 6-5-2-3 for Mike, 2-3-6-5 for me. What a race. The Saturday race of the day, the Grade 1 Apple Blossom Handicap. Good luck.